So after starting this new job, this new job, corporate 9 to 5, you all are probably wondering. So what's your fasting window, intermittent fasting, and how I leverage it during these working hours? Is so what I do is I've had to adjust my sleeping schedule, and I would say when I started the 9 to 5, getting back into the grind, it was just mentally you start overthinking a lot of things. The night before was difficult to sleep, right? The weekend before I started the new job was difficult to just be so like calm because you're anxious. There's a little bit of strategic anxiety about meeting the new people, entering a new life, new chapter in your life, 1 year older as well, hitting some big numbers here, if you know what I mean. And then, letting kind of things land instead of forcing it, right? You're very eager to perform, you're very eager to fit in, but it's one thing we realize in life, you cannot force the vibe. You have to blend with the vibe and just read the room, read the audience, and know yourself best. Only you know yourself, how you show up and how you fit in, right? So what I started doing is I started waking up every day around 5:30. Sometimes it's like 5:45 when I hit snooze. But I have now consistently woken up for the past 2 weeks. The past 2 weeks at 5 o'clock, 5:30ish in the morning, and now my biology-wise, my circadian rhythm is finding its consistency in terms of waking up at a certain time. My body is starting to recognize that by this time you slowly start opening your eyes, and 5:30, 5:40, I'm in the bathroom brushing my teeth. I come out, and my dog is still passed out, right? She's just taking a nap. She's like, "You are crazy, man." And so within 30, 40 minutes, I knock out 200 push-ups. I do arms and triceps, of course. And on certain days, I will do legs. But usually I leave my legs and squats to later in the afternoon, because if I know that I'm having a little bit more carbs on a certain day at work events, networking events, I know that the best way to ingest those carbs and put it to work is leg day. Nothing beats leg day. And I'm not talking about anything crazy. I've had hernia surgery. It doesn't prevent me from lifting heavier, but I also know that I know my body now. Like, I have gotten into this shape, not by lifting heavier, but by just being consistently maintaining. So to me, if I can do hand squats combined with push-ups, push-pull, dips, right? And then I throw in dumbbells in there, so I can do 35, 40, 45, 50-pound dumbbells, all just like holding it up here and just going up and down with both. That's about close to 100 pounds, give or take some days. That's all I need for my legs to get activated, my quads and glutes, because I'm not training to be a bodybuilder, and there's enough benefits in there because I can feel the testosterone boost for a few days. And so late, I just had my physical done, right? And so my testosterone numbers are close to 1100 milligrams, I think, whatever, 100 mils. And so I'm on the high side of testosterone. So this thing works, and I don't take any testosterone therapy, none. I don't inject any of that bullshit. I'm not saying bullshit, sorry. So, I totally get it that testosterone is a therapy treatment, and I may need it at some point here, but I'm not there yet. Like, all this is pure black. Like, you can't color this, is what I humbly brag about in other videos. So what I've done is I may have a snack when I get to work around 10 o'clock, because I do fasted workouts in the morning, basically, essentially. So I cover close to 2.5, 3 miles after my circuit training. So I lift in the morning, right? Empty stomach, lots of water, hydrate. I've probably put down about a liter, if not more, in the morning just itself. And so that's a shot of energy right there. You just feel hydrated. Your body inflates with good water, fresh water. I talk about having a relationship with water. Ironically, a lot of us are dehydrated and we're undernourished when it comes to water, which is why we overeat, and we just have this craving for sugar, which is also due to lack of sleep. That'll do it to you. But during my fasted training, I am hydrating the first thing. Number one, the first thing I do is I start knocking out push-ups, 25 push-ups, 5 sets. Then I move on to a second set. So I'm done. By the time I've said and done, I'm well over 200. So I do about 250 push-ups every single morning. And then I switch to arms and tries. And I have a nice pump. Like all of this here it may not look like much, but for me, I am pretty well defined for even this age. At any age, this is a definition. Most men today are not in that peak performing state. Most men are not in tune with muscle building, nutrition, diet, locking in, being hydrated, having your protein, experimenting with different diets, and then, of course, incorporating intermittent fasting as applicable into your life. So the beautiful thing about intermittent fasting is that you can adjust your eating windows according to your lifestyle. Now that I wake up at 5 o'clock, 5:30, I work out in the morning, I train, right? I tend to eat now earlier in the day. Technically, I could prepare and bring all my meals to work, and I could literally have my dinner in 10 minutes and be done with it right there and then in the office, which is precisely what I did today. So I hit my protein numbers close to 1 gram per pound per body weight, fruit and honey. I've been messing with the sugar diet, sugar fasting protocol. It's just temporary right now. It's not permanent. It's a fruit and honey diet inspired by Mark Smellybell. He actually responded to a couple of my comments on his channel. There's a whole community. I think Cole Robinson, right? I think he's another one. There's a few pioneers in that space. So I'm playing with the sugar diet, the sugar fasting, and whatnot. But right now, we're talking about intermittent fasting for those really the folks who are really eager to take a break from eating and to realize the fact that your body doesn't need constant feeding. Your body doesn't need constant. You don't need to be eating all the time. If anything, Americans, right, in the West, we need a better relationship with our food. And I think when you work a 9 to 5, most of us are sitting, right, and we are so stagnant. There's no movement. There's no exercise, there's no routine, there's no calorie burning. We're so dormant in that sense, right? And so for me personally, I have an ergonomics desk at work that I requested. I found a desk that is actually a standing desk, and I just find I get a lot more done when I'm standing. You're burning calories too as you're standing, and I'm not someone that's inspired to sit still all day, confined into an office environment, so I make it fun. You have to do what works for you. And so for me, I end up eating most of my meals between the spaces of, let's say, 12 to 3 o'clock. Maybe 4 o'clock is my last meal. Like today, I stopped eating around 4:30ish. I had a coffee again, latte, right, which is very minimal in calories. And with that, I had a very small mini Quest bar. And then you just kind of listen to your body, like, are we done? I think we're done. Like even right now, I can feel a fullness in my stomach. And programming wise, right, we've been programmed to think and believe that we need meals, 5 small meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 3 meals at minimum, right, and then snack in between if you choose to do so. And let's just face it, a lot of us are blowing that way out of the park. Which is why we are most oftentimes in a calorie surplus, especially if you're working a 9 to 5 and don't have a routine, a regimen around exercising, waking up early, building some disciplines and building those protocols around your lifestyle. I think this is where the root cause of the problem is, why our body goes this way, right? It wants to go that way, it wants to keep you comfortable. And so the more stagnant you are, right, the less you move and the more you eat, what do you think is going to happen? You throw in the stress that's, conducive of an office environment. You throw in that stress, right? And then you throw in your daily life issues. Most of us, let's face it, which is why I never got married, face the marital problems, right? The marriage issues. And I talk about relationships and tying the knot and all of this, which is, in my opinion, an overrated lifestyle. I really value peace and quiet. Obviously, I'm an older man. I've seen a lot in my lifetime. To say this is that marriage is going to cause you a lot of stress. So for those of you that are in that situation, you're going to have to find what works for you and break away for an hour just to yourself, to find your sanity, to find your peace, and to express that gratitude that you're actually breathing alive and in your body, and you get a chance to redo this thing called life the next day. Like, you get to wake up the next day. And I also get it that nothing is ever guaranteed or granted for that fact. Like, you don't even know if you're going to get the next day. But let's just, realistically speaking, we tend to do the same things over and over and over again and wonder why we keep getting the same results, which is a definition of insanity. What else would you expect, right? You're not gonna get a six pack. You're not gonna get a size 28, 30-inch waist. I have about a size 28, 30-inch waist, give or take. I didn't just get here overnight. I have a nice V taper going. I didn't get here overnight. And it's not just fasting alone, guys. You can fast, but it's, I would even argue that even if you get your intermittent fasting windows down, you may not be disciplined enough, is because when you get home, you're going to decide you want to eat again, right? So you have to find out, because humans are designed to consume, 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 consume. And some of us, if we have junk foods and just convenient foods at the tip of our fingertips called DoorDash and Uber Eats, we're just gonna dial for eats. We're gonna dial for eats and just keep eating, right? So you have to intercept yourself within and find a balance and say, I'm gonna draw the line here. And when you start this lifestyle and adjust your intermittent fasting windows to your lifestyle, you're gonna fall off, because once, and I mean this well, is once we are so excited about a program, I don't care what kind of diet, lifestyle, keto, fat, carnivore, sugar diet, sugar fasting, once you decide to embark on this adventure, this journey, we go so hard, balls to the walls, all in, and we're so motivated for the first few days, and then you fall off, like not even 3-4 days in the week. So you have to realistically set expectations for your body and fitness goals and see the long-term picture. What I would suggest is that you write your goals down on a whiteboard. Whiteboard always does the trick for me. It puts it into perspective. You're looking at it every single day, and you just kind of visually write, adjust. Like, I've even written my macros on the board. That's how dedicated I am, to the point where I no longer need to track my food, because I now am at a stage where I can visually see my body, right? If it's puffy, I know there's some work to do, and I know the variables, which are sleep, stress, water, salt, sodium, potassium, sugar, right? Alcohol, if I choose, I barely drink alcohol these days, but all of these are a factor for the next day look, right? And once again, guys, this is a lifestyle. And once you start getting older, like I am, Generation X, things will slow down, and you will know. Like, if I don't walk my 10,000 plus steps every single day, my body is going to tell me, you're slowing down, bro. You gotta get it together, and I'm going to feel it. I'm going to feel old, and I'm going to see a couple of white hairs popping up, right? I won't have the glow that I have. I use Tiege Hanley for men for my look that I have, which is skincare routine. One day, hopefully, I'm sponsored by them, but I get a lot of compliments. I've always had good skin, but I think that just enhances my look altogether. And I think every man should be in touch with their skincare routine. Their skincare game is this also improves your dating life. But don't get me wrong, you have to get in shape, and all of that stuff that you do is supplemental. So the skincare routine for my life is supplemental, but it's been a game changer. And a lot of us guys, we don't give importance to skincare. So it's not just for ladies, guys. If you seriously think about this, your physique, your brand, your appearance, how you present, it speaks volumes well before you enter a room, a business meeting, your work, a social event, right? So you want to be very mindful of how you eat, when you eat, the eating windows, right? And how quickly you can shut all of this down and say, basically tell the food diary or your food logs, like, enough is enough. I'm not going to consume you anymore. And this is where you have to, I recommend building and planning your meals around a high protein diet. So if you're eating 2 to 3 meals a day, I now do about 2 good meals a day, and I can consume. In fact, I've even tried OMAD, 1 meal a day. I've been able to consume almost all my calories within one sitting. And for some people, it may not work. For some people, it may not be suitable. I have tried this too. For me, it works just fine. You can consume if you can blow, think about this, guys. In the fast food, you go to a restaurant chain, right? Fine dining, you can put down close to 1,000 calories, if not more, with a burger and fries, right? What makes you think that you cannot put down 15 to 1,800 methodically thought out, strategically planned protein meals. You can. And I guarantee you that when you break your fast the right way, and the right way is to break it through light fruits, right? I recommend it at least, but you try what works for you. Light fruits, sparkling water, or plain water, and then immediately switch over to your protein intake. And I guarantee you that you won't be able to eat more than those protein meals because you're going to be fuller longer. When you're breaking your fast, that's the effect of breaking your fast, is that it encourages your body to eat, but you're going to be fuller longer. It encourages your body really to consume what it needs to consume. And then when you're eating a lot of protein, you're just going to be fuller longer, if that makes sense. And you may not get to eat your 2,000 calories. Now, fair warning is that just because you can eat those calories and you're in a deficit doesn't mean that you go out there and blow your calories and start ingesting sugar. Because a lot of people think, guys, I gotta say this, intermittent fasting is no better than any other diet or protocol. And the reason why it fails for most people is you're overeating. That's it. You think that somehow this fasting life allows you to eat anything you want, whenever you want, how much you want, and there's just no way to measure it. Having said all of that, if you build some disciplines around it, some protocols around it, ways to measure it, your progress, you can almost eat anything in moderation. And I would suggest that you track your calories, like MyFitnessPal I talk about, is a great way to stay on track, right? If you need more information on all of this, feel free to reach out to me. I do provide one-on-one consulting as well, especially if you're a working professional, you're making good money, but when you look at yourself in the mirror, you have this distended stomach, this belly that's in your way, if you're a C-suite level guy, corporate guy, CEO, small business owner, I want to work with you guys. I want to give back, right? I want to share my story with you guys and personal testimonials. Check out allergies and wind is kicking up here, guys. So check out my channel for the playlist of how I've categorized walking, nutrition, training, sleep, and all of this, even relationships, stress, how all of these elements play a role in your personal journey, in your personal life, right? And then lastly, I should, and I think I am, but I should be a great testimonial to older men trying to find their youth, their mojo, their magic juice later in life. And I'm here to tell you that it's never too late. I'm pretty much half a century old here, right? The big 50, right? It is what it is. I just didn't know that showing up this way and being here this late in life, this is how it's gonna look for me. And you know, I am super blessed to be here, but I've put in the work, is what I'm saying. I've put in the work to be here, and I don't deserve anything that you don't deserve. It's just that the choices you make can make or break you and define you, and the compounding effect will always come back at play. And the compounding effect is going to reflect all the choices that span decades, that span a few years. And let me just tell you, the good news here is you can turn your life around like now. In 3 months, you can be me, like a version of me, and you can be a different man completely for yourself. And if you're a woman, a wife, mother, girlfriend, someone that's female, right? That's inspired by some of the things I say, and now you want to point your dude or your male figure, your role models, and say, hey, look at this guy. He is providing some value. You can share this channel. You can share some of my work. Not everything I say or do is perfect and politically correct. I sometimes shoot off the hip and off the cuff, and sometimes I really let loose on the dating advice that I give on this channel with a red lens, if you know what I mean. I have a pretty okay, decent dating life. I'm not serious right now in anything, but I'm keeping my options open, and I think that's how I want to be. But all of that to say this, that I have adjusted my schedule. I'm not eating dinner tonight is because I was already full through my meals in the day. I stopped eating at 4:30. Here I am getting my steps in. I'm probably 13,000-14,000 steps in. I'm also losing light, so I wanted to come out here and record these videos, keep the momentum going, and tell you that you, wherever you are in your life right now, you can do a whole lot more with the little that you have. It's about the mind. And I know you don't believe it, but I used to be you once upon a time. And if an old man like me can turn his life around, okay, if you follow my lead and at the very least just watch my videos, you're going to find a lot of hidden gems in my videos that's giving you free information, and at the very least will inspire you to do this right now, which is taking your steps in. That's it. If you can walk 10,000 steps every single day and ingest, drink a gallon of water every single day, you're already winning in life. You're already winning in life. Watch the rest of my videos in my playlist. It's all there for you. Shelf life, right? And you take what you can from it. But otherwise, till the next video, guys, Mamba out.